Ohio Chautauqua is a traveling living history program, but it's also interesting. It's not like a boring, lecture by a professor somewhere where people won't come, and if they do come, they're sleeping halfway through it. This is really dynamic, and it's a way for people to reach out and touch history. We come into each community for 5 nights, 5 days of entertainment. We have one living history performer each night in costume, in character, on the stage, under the big red and white Chautauqua tent. And during the day we have workshops by these scholars. Each scholar does one workshop for youths and one for adults, but we do that in venues throughout the community, and that's another way that we can reach people who perhaps might not come to the tent itself.
For those of you who have never been to Ohio Chautauqua or Chautauqua Performance, you know this is edutainment. So it's educational, but it's also a lot of fun.
I became interested in doing this because I saw someone do this kind of portrayal. I was an audience member, just as hundreds of people here are going to be audience members, and I was captivated by the idea that I could experience what it was like to be in the presence of some great person from the past.
Well, it is a number one question. What is it? And actually, Chautauqua is best explained by first-person character drama.
Well, I always think of Chautauqua in general as being synonymous with lifelong learning. And that was the original purpose of Chautauqua when it was set up in the late 1800s in New York. The idea was that people could come together in a festive setting, in an enjoyable, relaxed setting, and learn about issues, about people from the past, about important events. And so that Chautauqua tradition has been shaped through the state Chautauquas that now exist. And Ohio Chautauqua has been one of the leaders in creating this whole festival atmosphere with the tent and a particular theme, and going after scholars who can contribute to a community in a way that they'll be enriched.
Chautauqua is one of the most unique experiences that we have here. There's nothing like it at all. We have a nice venue for it, to have the great big red tent in the middle of our town. All the events are free. It's just an event that we have nothing that compares to it. It's in the summertime, the weather is nice, and people come out. They just enjoy sitting in a wood chair under a big tent and learning about people that they've read about and have some familiarity with. It's an educational experience, and that doesn't even include all of the workshops. The workshops that go on that same week are educational, and it just creates a buzz in our community every time they come.
Well, it's often the case that audience members who are coming to Chautauqua will pick a character who's well known. Abraham Lincoln, for example, Eleanor Roosevelt will draw a large crowd. But I think it's important, in keeping with this idea of lifelong learning, that people who come to Chautauqua be open and willing to learn about a character whose name may not be so familiar, and who offer a chance to really broaden their level of knowledge about American history or literature or whichever field, whichever discipline that character represents.
That should be the goal of Chautauqua, is to learn from the lesser known characters. So don't be afraid if you have a character that's a little bit lesser known. Don't be afraid to publicize that, and don't be afraid to go out and see it, because you can learn from the characters that you may not know much about. Last night, under the tent, the guest MC asked how many people were from 100 miles or farther, and there was probably 50 hands that went up in a crowd of 300 plus people. So it's a great economic impact. It puts people in the hotels, it fills the restaurants, and it provides the city a little boost in the economy. It costs you nothing. And today, in today's economy, where can you find a value-added performance, whether that's drama, whether that's music, history? Where can you find an event like this that is free? And that is just it's a great opportunity, and thanks to sponsors, we can provide that to our people free.
I don't think there's any question that Chautauqua has far exceeded our expectations. I mean, the experience here from our institution and the whole community has just been marvelous. And I would say from our perspective, we're in the banking business, it's been an investment in the community.
To help us celebrate the bicentennial of our county, Ohio Chautauqua is coming to Coshocton July 19th through 23rd in 2011 with a free week-long performance schedule and workshops focusing on the Civil War. Audience members will enjoy first-person performances from such Civil War characters as Abraham Lincoln, Major Martin Delaney, Mary Chestnut, Mary Edwards Walker, and Harriet Tubman. We hope to see you there.